Hello! It's cheapo toy time! Gentleman the animator Harry Partridge has very kindly scoured the discount shops near where he lives, which is Venus or somewhere, and he's come up with a load of very horrible looking action figures for me, bless his heart. Would you like to see them? I do hope so, or you really wasted a click on the title of this video. Right, first up we have Kung Fu Fighters! Yay! Just what every boy wants. Gaudy coloured packaging, as ever, displaying the horrifying figures for our eyes. Okay, Kung Fu Fighters logo, very angry looking man, shrieking and kicking at the logo, presumably because he didn't want to have anything to do with it. He also appears to have broken his own big toes, which is never a good thing in a fight. For ages 3 and up, yeah, I'll bet. Right, we'll come back to the figures themselves in a moment. Just quickly nip through the packaging. Warning, blah blah blah, autofocus, thank you. Yeah, see, sad onion 0 to 3. Collect them all! No, I really think I won't. And backing, as ever, is just a completely plain thing, telling you these are distributed by a company called Funtastic, which probably has to be pronounced Funtastic, I imagine. Well, that's interesting. Look at the sad onion. This sad onion's grown up a bit, look, he's got some hair. It's a teenage sad onion, and yet still relating to ages 0 to 3. They should have fired him by now and got a younger one. Anyway, let's see what lurks inside, if the autofocus ever catches up. There we go. Marvellous. Oh. Rip, tear, rend, destroy. Blimey. That was one of the more violent openings of anything I've ever done in a video, I think. Right. Accessories. 2 badly hewn wooden tonfas that appear to have been made in some sort of woodwork class by idiots, and inexplicably a couple of stone dumbbells. No, I have no idea. Let's have a look at the figures themselves. On the right, we have sort of deformed Bruce Lee, is the only way I can describe that. In fact, he looks a lot like the Bruce Lee from that game I featured in the iPad review, come to think of it. He's got some sort of Chinese character on his chest. Surprisingly heavy figure, appears to have a sort of fairly solid chest. And yeah, kind of looks like he's going for a grunge biker look, but failed miserably, mainly due to doing up his trousers with a curtain sash. Arms are in rubbish positions. He can do some sort of sucker punch up to the chin, twist his head a bit, and doesn't even bend over properly. Actually, that's the most he can bend his legs. Sort of an arthritic Bruce Lee, this one. I'll be there in a minute. Oh, ambulance. Marvellous. And the other hand is just in some really weird, slightly effete position that doesn't, want to hold any of the accessories particularly well. Thank you, Bruce Deformed. Who's next? Oh, yeah. Let's just get a close-up on that face, shall we? Thank you. Yes, this man appears to be suffering from a condition known as Bell's palsy, bless him, where half his face has kind of lost all its strength in the muscles. Either that or he's just pulling a very weird expression. I don't know. He also appears to be watering out of his eye there. I don't know if you can see that. In fact, this man shouldn't be in a fight at all. He should be in a hospital. This isn't a Japanese flag headband. This is a bandage that he's bleeding through, I think. He's already lost the fight before he turns up. Anyway, let's have a look at this badly proportioned freak. He's got weird legs, bad trousers, dodgy karate top, and these same kind of arm positions as Bruce Almighty over here. Yep, fantastic. Just what every boy wants. Extremely deformed people. Right, let's clear some way. And we'll see what's next. We have Superhero Superpower. Wow. Don't worry, reliable performance, new type. So if you've been burned by bad performance of old superhero superpowers, don't worry. Modern and elegant. That's what we call 2 lies. Right, super powerful. Number blah 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 blah. Distributed by people. What's the sad onion like? I'm getting interested now. A more traditional sad onion there, but quite badly realised. Okay, it's the Power Rangers, obviously in a sort of knock-off position. We've got 5 flavours of Power Ranger: licorice, lime, blueberry, banana and raspberry. Marvellous. Let's open them up and see what they're like. Oh yeah, all identical, I think is the answer to that. Wow, cheap packaging there. Go, go, Power Rangers! Straight into the bin. Yep, the legs don't bend. The arms kind of bend. Really cheap plastic. Really cheap paint job, as you've probably noticed already. Yeah, not the most impressive of toys, but hey, you do get 5 of them. I suppose if you've got a child who's really into Power Rangers, rather than have him taken away by social services, you can keep him quiet for 5 minutes with these until he inevitably bites the arms off and chokes on them. Oh yeah, high quality, folks. Away you go. And to our last piece, the excitingly named The Legend of Dragon Play Set. Dun dun dun. How is The Legend of Dragon played out? By a knight riding a polar bear. Not particularly historically accurate. Again, plain backing there. Let's get straight into this one, actually. I'm quite intrigued by this. Yes, it's a knight. Couldn't afford a horse, and for some reason ended up with a polar bear. Very, very odd. I like the way his head's turned in the packaging, actually, as if much to say, yeah, I'm riding a polar bear. So what? You got something to say about that, mate? Yeah? Yeah, this is a strange set. I can only assume that the polar bear was in some way a knockoff from that old The Golden Compass film that was popular a year or two ago, and it's somehow been reformed as a steed for a knight because they had loads of them to do away with because they didn't sell. I don't know, I'm completely guessing. In fact, that may not be the answer, come to think of it, because I noticed in my local Poundland they had the same knight riding an elephant. So rather than The Legend of Dragon, because, you know, there aren't any dragons being used in any way, shape or form here, I think this toy line should probably be called Knights Riding Crazy Shit. And you could have polar bears, emus, gazelles, knights riding each other. I don't know. Here he is anyway. He's got a very ornate hat. That means he's a good knight. Man, the autofocus is slow today, I do apologise. Yes, the detailing is not too bad. He's got a big hole in his chest for no reason I can think of. And as with many cheap toys, the polar bear has really obvious screw holes in the side, meaning it looks like somebody's been blasting holes in him, the poor thing. Anyway, away, Sir Knight. Save a damsel and try not to get your polar bear to eat any penguins on the way. Okay. Right, there is a heavy price for me to pay, friends. A heavy price for Mr. Partridge sending me these. He wants to do a kind of impression of me and do a review of his own of one of the figures that he didn't send me. Okay, it's fingers in your ears time. Here we go.
Hello, Harry here with one of the figures that I couldn't quite fit into the big box of tat that I sent to the doctor. Here, straight from Planet Poundland, we have... Dun 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 dun! A big, confusing mess of grey plastic. This is Trans Robot X. Quite what a trans robot is, I don't know. I'm assuming it's a robot that likes to listen to Cher and hangs around in a lot of nightclubs. This is a new arrival, apparently. Don't know where from, probably Singapore or somewhere like that. And the packaging is telling us to collect them. I'm guessing it means the figures and not this stolen Transformers movie artwork on the box. Naughty. Turning it over, we get to see some of the other characters available in the series, including this sort of deranged-looking fellow, and the name of this particular character is Machine Super Robot. That's quite a redundant name for a robot. Rather ironically, this is also apparently a quality guaranteed product. I'll be the judge of that. I'm expecting it's probably going to implode the moment I take it out of the packaging. Only one way to find out. Well, here he is, Transformer Mutant Machine Robot Man, or whatever his name was. As you'd expect, the figure feels very flimsy, and I don't think he could survive being transformed into the helicopter. I quite like the big Alibaba sword, though, and, well, it doesn't look too terrible. I might see if I can put him on top of my computer or something. I wonder if he stands up. Does he? Does he fuck?
Well, started off quite well there, sort of trailed off a bit in the second half, and criminally doesn't show you the toy transforming, despite the fact that's the whole reason it exists. Dearie me, don't give up your day job as a massively successful and talented animator. I don't know. People appearing in my own videos trying to steal my shtick. Bet Mike Mozart doesn't have to put up with this.